Our bitter cold arrives, and it's going to be all day Thursday. We have wind chills near 0 in the morning and significant cold air. And I mean, this is another level of cold. This is second or third week of January, in my opinion. That's the way it feels outside. Now, as we look at our weather impact fact, this is the third snowiest start to the season on record. So that's pretty impressive. We had almost 4 inches of snow on Monday officially at Lambert. That puts us over 10 inches so far for the year. And we're just beginning. Now, with that fresh snowpack, clear skies, our temperatures fell into the teens, in some cases lower teens. And we've all rebounded nicely. Mid-20s in the city. It didn't get quite as cold. We had a little bit more cloud cover. But even spots like O'Fallon on the Missouri side, you got into the low teens. Alton at about 11 or 12 this morning. Now, we've gotten back up, and over the next several hours, we continue to see cloud cover that's with us. Now, look at the big picture here. Overall, things are pretty quiet. And as we talk about cloud cover, here's where those breaks were. That made a difference because that acts as an insulator, that cloud cover. Otherwise, that heat from the daytime yesterday escapes. And I know it wasn't much heat, but I do want to focus on some areas off to our north. And this is an area where we have some light to moderate snow. And let's look at what's going on. Now, this is very light. Most of this are flurries. There are some bands that will pick up as well that may impact Pike County shortly. But overall, this will push south gradually throughout the day. I mention this because it's not out of the question that we have a few flakes of snow by 2, 3, 4 o'clock. So don't be surprised to see flakes flying this afternoon. I don't really think this causes any issue, but we're not in charge of the roads. There's a ton of salt on the roads. This is more than just a flake of snow. That's just a few flurries, and snow showers may reduce visibility. That's the extent of it throughout the rest of the day. Next several hours, temps in the mid-30s, cloud cover around. And like I said, you may squeeze out a few flakes of snow later on tonight, but that's when the cold air really settles in, and you will notice that. Look at the significant cold air. We're below zero. And it's December in Minot, North Dakota. I know that Minot, North Dakota and International Falls are always pretty cold, but not this cold. This is abnormal cold, and it's settling in. And what it's going to do for us is bring tomorrow morning starting off in the single digits on Thursday. You're talking about between 5 and 10 degrees from either Troy, St. Charles, Alton, Litchfield to Vandalia, even into Edwardsville. Now, going throughout the rest of the morning, notice how we don't change all that much. Even as we get through 9 or 10 o'clock, we'll continue to see midday 10 to 15, close to 20 degrees. And I think that's the extent of where we're going tomorrow. It's not going to be a warm day whatsoever. That's how significant this cold air mass is. Now, our coolest high temps on December 4th, which is the record cold high. We talk about record highs. We talk about record cold highs, not too much, right? 20 degrees back in 1886 is where we've seen our coldest high temperature on December 4th. Now, 24 degrees is number 2. So it's either a tie for first or number 2. That's where we're at tomorrow in terms of significant cold air at a time where our average is in the mid to upper 40s. That's a big difference, right? So that's where we are in terms of that for our next 7 days. So I want to bring your attention to temps in the mid 30s today. No problem. Cloud cover, maybe a few flurries this afternoon. Absolutely bitter cold for your weather impact alert for tomorrow. And that's where we're going to continue to focus on significant cold air in the region. You'll start off with wind chills that are below zero in some cases. It will not take much in terms of our wind chills between 5 to 15, even by noon. It's going to be pretty significantly cold. You'll see that most of the area is still dealing with some sort of wind chill, even if our temperatures are not as warm. We're going to struggle to get to 20 degrees. That's why it's our weather impact alert. And as I expand upon this the next 10 days, you'll see that it is very cold. That is our weather impact alert for tomorrow. By Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm optimistic that it's at least above freezing on a consistent basis. You'll start to get rid of these numbers. Friday morning, 13 degrees. Then that Arctic air leaves us for a while, and it's still below average and cold, but it is much better. Now, as we look ahead to Sunday, there's a passing system that may provide another few snow showers ahead. However, the next few days, I am optimistic we at least have one day that shows up in the 50s the next 10 days. That does bring a slight rain chance the way it settles in right now, but otherwise I don't have anything significantly warm, but I definitely don't have any more snowstorms on the way for us. And so that's kind of the way it's set up for us right now, as we do see some at least numbers that are going to improve overnight, as even Tuesday into Wednesday we remain in the 40s overnight. So that's going to be a difference for us here ahead of the next few days as conditions look very cold tomorrow, but we're going to see conditions improve for the weekend. Otherwise, It is quiet.
The temperatures are going to continue to drop. A lot of fluctuation with our temperature over the next 7 days. 18 right now, 14 for a high Thursday. Temperatures warming up throughout Thursday night. We should be in the upper 20s by Friday afternoon, and then another drop in temperatures as we head into the upcoming weekend. So this is our short-term temperature forecast over the next, say, 24 hours or so. Notice temps continue to fall as we head deeper into the day today. Single digits by the evening commute, feeling even colder when you factor in that wind. Let's take you into the coldest part of the morning. That'll be right around daybreak on Thursday. Where the wind is the calmest, that's where we'll see the colder temperatures. Notice Mankato, one of the coldest spots in the entire state, because that's where that surface high pressure is going to be. These are bottom out temperatures as we head into tomorrow morning. Double digits below zero for areas outside the Twin Cities metro, but within that metro core, that urban heat island effect is going to keep our temperatures a little bit warmer. Regardless, this will be our first sub-zero of the season and the earliest sub-zero in over 10 years. Let's add in that wind chill factor for Thursday. This is tomorrow. Again, sub-zero to start. Wind chill value between 15 and 25 below zero, although the wind not super strong in the morning. We will continue to warm up. We're back in the teens above zero by the afternoon commute, and the temperatures should continue to rise from there. But over the next week or so, we have this fluctuation in temperatures because we're in this clipper train pattern where we have weather systems that continue to come in from the north and west. There's tonight's forecast high pressure system giving us the Arctic air. Weak system drifting to our north as we head into, say, early Friday morning. A couple of stray snow showers there, but not much coming from that. Another snowy system potentially moving through to our south on Saturday that could give us some light snowfall. So you kind of get the idea. Chance for some light snow about every other day, but no major snow in the forecast. A lot of up and down temperature wise, but we should see temps back in the mid to upper 20s early next week.
Temperatures continue to cool down throughout the day. 6 p.m. it is close to single digits for a lot of us. Keep in mind, we're at 32 right now. This is how cold it's going to be for a lot of us getting home later on today. Overnight, they continue to drop off to where we get into the negatives, getting down between -5 to -10, even having a few spots that hit that -11 to -12 mark. This also comes down to how quickly this wind will push in this colder air and the timing of it. But either way, the record low for tomorrow is -6. So we're going to really surpass that by a lot. But here's the real thing, the wind chill. By Thursday morning, -13 to -18 is a strong possibility for a lot of us, with this north wind holding between 10 and 20 miles per hour. Throughout the day on Thursday, that north wind does back off, but we don't see it die down completely. So we hold on to a wind chill value through the morning time, even through the afternoon. It doesn't get back above zero until potentially Thursday afternoon, maybe. Now for the bus stop, it just gets colder throughout the day, of course. By 2 to 3 p.m., we are talking that last couple of moments in the 20s as the sun starts to peak out. Once the sun kind of comes out, that will start to slow down the cool down. But of course, the sunset being at like 4:58 today, I believe, it will be a rapid drop off by 6 to 7 p.m. this evening. So highs for today, talking low 30s. Most of us have already hit these values. You can see where Spencer is, 22 degrees. They've already gotten some of that colder air seeping in. And highs for tomorrow are just not friendly by any means. The record high for tomorrow is 16, and we're looking at breaking that easily for a record cold high temperature. And the most confusing thing about this for a lot of us is the fact that the sun will be out the entire day, and we're still only going to get into around the mid-teens. Now we start looking at this weekend where we have the next system coming through that could bring us accumulating snowfall. This does stay in the northern part of the state and kind of drift off towards the east, and this low pressure does start to fall apart a bit. Now that will leave us with some accumulating snowfall, but it's not a situation we have to worry about. But properly named Arctic for our doggy Doppler, 5-year-old husky mix. Back when the grass was green and we could see it. Man, good times. But green paws still across the board. Of course, before bed, that might be the critical point for a lot of us. But going into tomorrow morning, we're going to see the red paws show back up. Don't have to worry about this just yet. We'll go straight to the 7 to 10 day. This is not a friendly next 5 days. We've got, of course, wind chills tomorrow. We've got snow this weekend. And then after that, there is a brief moment where we will have some time above freezing. But it is short-lived as a cold front arrives on Wednesday.